Hello everyone, welcome back to MediPlacebo. In today's video, I'll be covering about the general concept of the bones. So, in this part, we will be covering the bone composition, that is, the constituents of the bone, and further, we will be studying about the function of the bones and the types of the bones. So, the general concept of the bones would be divided into the three videos, out of which we have the first video based upon the bone composition, the function of the bones and the types of the bones. So, the bones, or in general any tissue in our body, is made up of the cells. The cells is the basic functional unit of any organ or organ system. So, these cells will aggregate to form the tissues, and the collection of tissues will form the organ, and the collection of organs would form the organ system. So, we can say that the cells are the basic but very important unit of the bones. So, we have four types of cells. These are the osteoblast cells, the osteoclast cells, the osteoprogenitor cell, and the osteocytes. So, we'll be discussing the function of each of these cells in the further upcoming video. Then we have the matrix. The matrix comprises of the part in which we have the organic as well as the inorganic component. So, the matrix comprises of the organic and the inorganic parts. The next constituent of the bone which we have is the membranes. So, in the membranes, we have the two types of membrane, which is the periosteum, which will form the outer membrane, and then we have the endosteum, which is the inner membrane. So, here you can note that the term periosteum is made out of two words, that is peri and osteum. So, most of the anatomical terms are being derived from the Latin language. So, the term peri refers to the surrounding and osteum refers to the bone. So, the periosteum simply refers that it is an outer membrane, whereas the endosteum, in endo we have the inner, and the osteum, which is the membrane. So, this is the inner membrane. The next and the final component which we have is the bone marrow. The bone marrow could be found in the medullary cavity and the epiphysis and the diaphysis region. So, we will be discussing the composition of bones in much more detail in the next video. So, now let us take a look at the function of the bones. So, the most important function of the bones is to support the body. So, you would have seen the chassis of vehicle, which forms the integral part, without which we would not have the vehicle itself. Since this chassis of vehicle encloses the engines, the brakes, the seats and the other components of the car or the vehicle, so it can be said as the supporting unit. And so, the major function of the bone is to provide the support for the body. Then we have the function of the storage. In the storage, we have the accumulation of the ions, which are the calcium ion, the phosphate ion, the magnesium ion, the bicarbonate ion, and various other ions. Apart from it, we have the function of the hematopoiesis, which occurs in the bone marrow. So, in the bones, we have two types of bone marrow, which is the red bone marrow and the yellow bone marrow. The red bone marrow is the one which would secrete the hematopoietic cells, whereas the yellow bone marrow is the one in which the adipocyte deposition takes place. So we have the yellow bone marrow, which is comprised of the fatty tissue, and the hematopoietic cells would further give rise to the myeloid lineage cell and the lymphoid lineage cell. So these two cells are important and play a key role in providing immunity. The next function of the bone which we have is the protection. So as we know that our chest wall has the presence of heart, lungs and various other anatomically important structures. So to enclose these important structures, we have the presence of the chest wall, and the chest wall is itself made out of bones, in which we have the bone which is present like the ribs, the sternum and the vertebrae. So now let us take a look at the types of the bones. So the bones can be classified into 5 major categories, which are the flat bones, the irregular bones, the short bones, the long bones and the sesamoid bones. So now let us take a look at each of them. In the flat bones, these are flat on either side, and the examples of them are the sternum, which forms the part of the chest wall. Then we have the manubrium, which is also involved in the formation of the chest wall. The next type of bone which we have is the irregular bone. The irregular bone are those bones which are irregular in shape, as the name suggests. The examples of the irregular bone comprises of the hyoid bone, which is present near the region of the head and neck and is the only bone which is supported by muscles and is not articulating with any other bone. So the hyoid bone does not articulate with any other bone. The next example which we have is the sacrum. Then we have the coccyx. So these are the parts of the vertebral column. Then we have the mandible, the palatine bone and various other examples. So this is the mandible, which forms the lower jaw, and the palatine bone is present posterior to the maxilla and can be found in the region of the upper jaw in the oral cavity. The next type of bone which we will take a look is at the long bone. The long bones are the bones which have a greater height compared to the other bones. Then on the upper end we have the presence of the region known as the epiphysis. In the mid region of the long bone we have the presence of the diaphysis, and in between the region of the epiphysis and the diaphysis lies the metaphysis. So we will be discussing about the long bone in much more detail in the next video. The next type of bone which we have is the sesamoid bone. The sesamoid bone is a bone which is circular in shape and is covered with the help of the tendon. So here we have the presence of a tendon which would enclose the sesamoid bone, that is the patella, present at the region of the kneecap between tibia, fibula and the femur. Also we have the other type of sesamoid bones located at the base of the metacarpal. So now let us take a look at the last type of bone which we have, that is the short bones. In the short bones we have the bones which are present in the region of the foot, in the ankle region and in the region of the hand, in the wrist region. So here in the region of the ankle we have the tarsal bones which are the type of short bones, and also in the region of the wrist, which can be seen here, we have the short bones which are the carpals. So here is a quick summary of the examples and the types of bones which we have studied. The long bones, which we have the examples of the femur, the radius is the bone present in the region of the forearm at the side of the thumb. Then we have the ulna, which is present on the medial side towards the little finger. We have the fibula. The fibula is the long bone which is present on the side of the little finger of your leg. Then we have the metacarpals, which is present in the palmar and the dorsal aspect of the hand. Then we have the phalanges, which are present in the region of your fingers. The next category which we have is the tarsals and the carpals. The tarsals located in the region of the ankle, and the carpal bones, which are located in the region of the wrist. Then we have the flat bones. The flat bones comprising of the scapula, the sternum and the ribs. Then we have the sesamoid bones, which are enclosed in the tendons, and the term tendon means it is an extension of muscle, and a flat tendon is known as the aponeurosis, and the famous example being the bicipital aponeurosis. The last category which we have here is the irregular bones. In the irregular bones, we have the sacrum, the coccyx, the vertebrae, the mandible, palatine, Howard bone and the temporal bones. The temporal bones being present at the lateral aspect of your skull. So, if you take a look at the skull from the lateral side, the bone which is present enclosing your ear cavity is known as the temporal bone. The long bones can be further classified into four parts, which are the epiphysis, the metaphysis, the diaphysis and the apophysis. So, the epiphysis, as we have seen, are present at the extremities of the bone. The metaphysis is located in between the epiphysis and the diaphysis, and the apophysis is the region which is enclosed by the tendons or the ligaments. And so these are mostly the region which are present at the extremities, since our extremities are involved in the formation of the joints. So that is it for this video. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe, and if you want more such medical related content, do follow us on Instagram.